Children of the Universe by Professor Dr. Ante Simonić. Chapter 6 Death of the Universe. Death of the universe represents a significant challenge for thought. A scenario which includes death of the universe is similar to mythological stories and magical hypotheses on the death of God and the assumption about a hypothetical separation of God and the universe. All of these possibilities also lead to disappearance of cosmos. Namely, God, as the master of all areas, is also the principle of all which exists, a cohesive force which prevents the universe to be converted to dust. It is the creative and maintaining force which prevents the transformation of the universe into nothing. Death of the universe can be imagined as a thermal death based on the principles predicted by scientists and philosophers of the 20th century. As a consequence of such a scenario, dead celestial objects would keep on circulating in the space where similar cadavers would be piled. But why the death of the cosmos cannot be imagined as a consequence of the disappearance of all connections in the universe? Connections ranging from the gravitational, nuclear, and electromagnetic to the hypothetical M connection. The universe would then turn to nothing as the connections listed form the matter and the space and time continuum. People consider that physical connections are closely related with the matter since we think that dead matter does not possess memory, and we think that dead matter is eternal as well as the connections assigned to it. On the contrary, we consider organic matter very unstable and short-lived. Since we regard connections between organic matter and a psyche as more engaged from the mnemic point of view, we find it easy to believe that these connections cause the effects which are not eternal but are more persistent than the organic matter itself. For instance, Beethoven's music outlived the musician. The relativity theory outlived Einstein. Cultures can die too, as well as language, fashion, habits, scientific and technical postulates, and methods and similar. But new cultures, language, fashion, scientific and technical postulates can also arise as well. However, in contrast to biological creation, where every newborn is a successor of the original reproductive cell, which did not cease to exist, a cultural creator, that's to say, a scientist, an explorer, or an artist can freely explore his or her inclination to any scientific, technical, or artistic field or topic, regardless of the fact that a cultural memory exists and imposes certain boundaries upon a cultural creator. As far as cultural as well as biological or universal dying is concerned, we can also speak of partial death. For instance, even though entire language can die, most commonly only some words die. In science, only some hypotheses are rejected, and in mechanics, only a part of construction falls down. In the biological world, a continuous dying of individual cells of our skin, reproductive cells, and erythrocytes can serve as examples of partial death. In the universe, it can be the disappearance of certain celestial bodies and similar. Therefore, it can be concluded that death and immortality are only relative notions.